Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this September the 22nd, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Friday out there so far. Hope everybody has a great Friday afternoon. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well, and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the tropics. Here is later this afternoon and make landfall into eastern North Carolina. Here's another little system here, but it's non-tropical. Get a little tropical activity in this little system here. Here's Invest 90L. We'll be discussing that in today's video as well. Also, we got another little tropical wave. We'll need to watch it. Got some down here in South America. A little bit of system down here, portion of the southern Windward Island around Tobago and Barbados region down here in the Caribbean region. Also, we got some shower and thunderstorm activity moving off the Mexican coast, moving west. Would not be surprised to see this system here become a tropical storm and maybe a hurricane as well as it moves through the eastern Pacific Ocean. Also, we got a cold front coming down from the north. You can see this line portion of Canada down into portions of Louisiana. Got another little system over here in portions of the upper Midwest around Montana, back over to Washington State as well, bringing some mixed precipitation in that region. Alright, also in today's video, we're going to be taking potential tropical cyclone 16. Also, we're going to take a look at Invest 90L. Also, we're going to take a look at the watches, warning, and advisory map for your location across the nation. And also, we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today. Also for Saturday and Sunday, as we do have some severe weather to discuss across the nation. So stick around to the entire video and do not miss a beat of this forecast. Also, if you have not subscribed to my channel, don't forget to subscribe to it today. Love to have you. Also, like these videos, share these videos, and once again, before you leave this video, smash that subscribe button so that way you will not miss a beat of my forecast, as I do it twice per day unless something comes up. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get the show on the road here, folks, and we're going to finish discussing the forecast as we continue to roll forward. Alright, we're going to discuss this here. Now let's take a look at potential tropical cyclone 16. As you can see here, it's getting a little bit better center circulation. You can see it look like it's even getting like a little eye wall right here, but there ain't nothing around the eye wall. Most of the activity is off to the north, also into the east, and a little bit of convection trying to blow up to the southwest, but a lot of dry air is moving into this system from the south. So I think that's what's going to prohibit it to get any stronger than a tropical storm. Yesterday it looked like it was going to maybe intensify to maybe a small grade hurricane, but right now it looks like it's going to just remain a tropical, pretty much just maybe a subtropical cyclone, or maybe just a remnant low. It may not even get Ophelia's name, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. But right now, I have winds of 50 miles per hour. We're just waiting on the National Hurricane Center to go ahead and define it as Tropical Storm Ophelia. But I think it will become Ophelia. But like I said, we gotta wait on the National Hurricane Center and see what they decide what they want to do. So we're just waiting on it, but right now it do look like it getting a little bit better circulation here in this rotation here. So I would not be surprised at 2 or 5 p.m. advisory. It should become Ophelia before it makes landfall in eastern North Carolina. Alright, now let's take a look. We're going to take a look at the forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center of Ophelia in just a few minutes. With graphics. Alright, now let's take a look at the forecast cone. Alright, you can see here we got a big wind field of this system. This system has a big old wind field. Shoot, this is larger than Lee's wind field. This is combined with Lee and maybe part of Niger wind field out of this system here, how big it is. But at 11 a.m. this is the position. They got turned into a tropical storm. then a tropical storm that make landfall in the outer, just south of the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and then moves on up into Virginia, and then kind of just meanders up here in this area here. So that's why they kind of uncertain if it's going to go any further. If it looked like it was going to go out to sea, but I think it's going to just stall out right here over pretty much over Virginia and also Pennsylvania. Until a cold front comes in and sweeps it offshore, that's what it looks like right now. Alright, if you're tracking the system at home, it's located near latitude 32.3 north, longitude 75.6 west, maximum sustained winds are near 50 miles an hour with higher gusts, and moving this to the north at 12 miles per hour. They should go ahead and classify the tropical storm because it already has winds of 39 to 73 miles per hour. But like I said, they're waiting on that center of circulation to see if it gains one. But good, and like I said, it should become a failure anytime. The 2 p.m. advisory or either the 5 p.m. advisory should become a failure. But like I said, by 8 a.m. it should be approaching in this vicinity right here in the tropical storm warning area. But they do have more tropical storm warnings down in the South Carolina. But right now they just mainly concentrate in this area here where it's going to make landfall in this region here. Alright, now let's take a look at the. That's why I think that's why the National Hurricane Center stopped it off right about here, because see, it makes landfall here, then moves inland, and then it just kind of just sits over this area here. So, yesterday, most of the models took it out to sea. There's still a few taking it out to sea. Some takes it back to the west, some continue it to the north, and some turns it back around and then brings it back into the Atlantic Ocean. So, I don't, like I say, we're just going to have to wait and see, but I'm pretty sure a high pressure system is up to the north. That's what's blocking this system from going any further to the north. I discussed this here the other day about this system moving to the, it's probably not going to go too far to the north because, like I said, because of the high pressure ridge up in southeast Canada, or right in this southeast Canada, or right over here just off the northeast coast, kind of prohibiting this system from going any further to the north. So it's either got to sit here and rain itself out, slowly turn back off and go out to sea, or will it back up and head back out to sea, or turn around and go back out to sea. We just have to wait and see. But right now, the National Hurricane Center is just going with just kind of just dying out right there, pretty much over Virginia. So we'll just have to wait and see what this system. Let's take a look at the intensity guidance of this system. As you can see, it's got 45 knot winds, equal to 50 miles per hour. According to this model here, it's a tropical storm. It drops it back into a tropical depression over the next 24 to 36 hours, and just kind of remain a tropical depression pretty much. A few models want to take it back into a tropical storm later on, but most of the model dies it off into this tropical depression. That's why the National Hurricane Center went with a tropical depression. Alright, that's the information now on what should become a failure pretty much soon. Now, let's take a look at our other system out in the Atlantic. This is the Invest 90L. To find this today, I showed it earlier yesterday on the satellite imagery. It was kind of poorly organized. But anyway, today it looks a little bit better organized this afternoon, getting more deeper convection in the system. As you can see here, a little bit of dry air punching in from the north and trying to get into the south. That's why it's having a little bit of hard time organizing to a tropical system at this time. But like I say, it should become Philippe sometime over the weekend or early. Also, this will be first it'll become Tropical Depression 17 and then become Tropical Storm Philippe. So I just want to alright, we're going to try to take a look at some hurricane models here, and then we're going to take a look at the intensity guidance of the system. Alright, here's the computer model runs, spaghetti-o plots everybody calls it. We got this current position of the storm, well compacted, going away to about 96 to 120 hours out. Some of the models do want to turn it to the north and out to sea. There's a couple, there's 1, 2, 3, about 5 models is going to keep it to the west. So the National Hurricane Center just outlined this area here for right now. But I would not be surprised if this system takes on off out into the Atlantic and be no threat to land or anything over the next coming weeks. Like I said, we'll just have to wait and see, but if the computer model is pretty well turning the system, I think it will turn to the north. But anyway, we'll have to keep a close eye on it and see. So we'll just keep a check on that as well. Alright, here's the intensity guidance of this system. It's got about 25 knot winds, probably equal up about 30 miles per hour in the system. Right now it keeps a tropical depression. There's about 3 models keeps a tropical depression. But most of the models do keep it into a tropical storm. So that's why we're expecting to become Tropical Storm Philippe. A lot of model runs it all the way up to a Category 3 hurricane. So 2 and a 3. So would not be surprised this system here could become a major hurricane as well. But like I say, right now it's too early to call because we thought Niger was going to become a major hurricane. It only got a Category 2. But anyway, we just I'm going to go with a Category 1 or a 2 right now. Will it ramp up to a 3? Possible, but right now I'm going to go with just a Category 1 or a 2 hurricane at this time. Alright, warning and advisory map for your location across the nation. Alright, you can see here we got coastal flood advisories, flood watches in effect from up here near the Pennsylvania region all the way into the Washington D.C. area, down into eastern Virginia, eastern North Carolina. Got some tropical storm warnings there as well. Tropical storm warnings in the Atlantic coastal waters. We got tropical storm warnings all the way down to the coastal waters area of South Carolina near the Charleston area. A little bit down even off the coast of southeast Georgia. Got some gale warnings from southern South Carolina to the east coast of Florida. Also up here from Washington D.C. all the way up into portions of the New York area with gale warning along coastal areas. Alright, got a rip current statement there as well for coastal South Carolina. We've got a wind advisory there for Berkeley County in South Carolina as well. Special weather statement, also some heat advisory for southeast Texas. Also a beach hazard statement for you guys up in Minnesota and Wisconsin region. Also red flag warning is also in effect for Port of Colorado. High wind warning is in effect for southeastern Wyoming. Freeze watches there in effect for western Wyoming. Frost advisories and a wind advisory for portions of Idaho. Winter weather advisory is also in effect for western Montana, southern Montana. Wind advisory for northeastern Montana. Alright, we got some hydro issues over southwestern Oregon and northern California. Flood watches there as well for some heavy rainfall right along coastal areas. Also we have some air quality alert for central and southern portions of California as well. Alaska got some special weather statements to the north. Got some gale warnings offshore on the southwest side of Alaska. Central and north Hawaii and Chain Island looks good. Central and south, you got some gale warnings to the south. Alright, now we're going to move on to the severe weather perspective of this video. Now let's take a look at the Storm Prediction Center. As you can see, we got general thunderstorm for portions of the Washington D.C. area, down in the eastern South Carolina, down to the Florida Keys region, also central and southern Florida, also over Louisiana, Texas region as well, all the way up to portions of Wisconsin, also in the Minnesota as far west as Montana, Idaho, and also into portions of Utah. We have a marginal, let me let my information update here. Alright, marginal risk from Iowa back into portion of Wyoming. Slight risk of severe weather from portion of Nebraska into Wyoming and also South Dakota. Same over here with that tropical cyclone landfall hurricane. I mean not hurricane, but tropical storm. Over here in the eastern Outer Banks and also Virginia. We have a marginal risk and a slight risk area there as well. Alright, Virginia, Chesapeake, Virginia, Newport News, Virginia, Hampton, Virginia. Slight risk for severe weather this afternoon. If you live in Delmont, Iowa, Sioux Falls City, Iowa, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Sioux City, Iowa, and Greenville, North Carolina, a marginal risk for severe weather this afternoon. Tornado probability, we have a 5% and a 2% over here in Wyoming, and also Nebraska and South Dakota. Same thing over here in eastern North Carolina and also into Virginia. Alright, if you live in the 5% area, this includes Virginia Beach, Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, Chesapeake, Virginia, Newport News, Virginia, Hampton, Virginia. Also, we have a 2% risk in Greenville, North Carolina, Jacksonville, North Carolina, Rapid City, South Dakota, Rocky Mount, North Carolina, and Gillette, Wyoming. Alright, here's a look at the winds probability. Let's see, the hail probability. Alright, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's take a look at the winds first. 5% in both locations. This includes Virginia Beach, Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, Chesapeake, Virginia, Newport News, Virginia, Hampton, Virginia. Take a look at the hail probability. 5% in the brown, 15% in the yellow slashed area. This includes Rapid City, South Dakota, Gillette, Wyoming, Scottsbluff, Nebraska, Spearfish, South Dakota, Rapid City, South Dakota. This is pretty much same location for 15% risk area. Alright, we're going to move on to the 5%. This includes Delmar, Iowa, Sioux Falls City, South Dakota, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Sioux City, Iowa, and Waterloo, Iowa for large hail for today. Alright, now let's take a look at your Saturday forecast. Alright, you can see here we got general thunderstorm for portions of the Connecticut region all the way into eastern North Carolina. Marginal risk also in effect for northeastern North Carolina, also into the Washington, D.C. area, and also Virginia region. General thunderstorms over central and south Florida to the Florida Keys, back to Louisiana, Texas, all the way up to Montana, also into Minnesota and Wisconsin. Also have a marginal risk extending from the Dakotas all the way down into Texas. Slight risk extending from portions of South Dakota, Minnesota, all the way down into Oklahoma region as well. This is ahead of a cold front that's coming eastbound as we progress through the weekend. All right. If you live in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Kansas City, Missouri, Omaha, Nebraska, Tuscaloosa, Oklahoma, Lincoln, Nebraska, slight risk of severe weather on Saturday. If you live in Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Arlington, Texas, marginal risk of severe weather on Saturday. Tornado probability. We have a 2% over here in eastern North Carolina, Virginia, around the Washington, D.C. area. Same here in portions of Oklahoma, all the way in through South Dakota, Minnesota region. Also, if you live in Oklahoma City, Kansas City, Missouri, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Omaha, Nebraska, Tuscaloosa, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Getting tongue-tied there, folks. 2% risk for a tornado this for your Saturday. Alright, damaging winds, 5% over here in eastern North Carolina, over here toward Washington, D.C. Same from up here in Minnesota to the Dakotas to Texas. Alright, that 15% risk still included for Minnesota all the way down into Oklahoma. This includes Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Kansas City, Missouri, Omaha, Nebraska, Tuska, Oklahoma, Lincoln, Nebraska. That's 15% risk, 5%. This includes Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Arlington, Texas. Alright, hail probability, pretty much just with that line of showers and storms from Minnesota all the way south through the Dakota, Minnesota down to Texas, 15% in yellow. This includes Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Kansas City, Missouri, Omaha, Nebraska, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Lincoln, Nebraska, 5%, Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Arlington, Texas, and Wichita, Kansas for large hail in that region for your Saturday. Alright, let's move on to Sunday forecast. Alright. Alright, you can see here we got general thunderstorms up here from New York City through eastern North Carolina, central and south Florida to the Florida Keys. Also again from Louisiana to Texas, all the way to New Mexico, all the way up into portions of the Dakotas, and also into Minnesota and Wisconsin. We have a slight risk of a marginal risk down there in Texas, all the way into portions of Louisiana, also into Arkansas and Oklahoma. All right, if you live in Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, Arlington, Texas, Plano, Texas, Garland, Texas, slight risk for severe weather on Sunday. If you live in Austin, Texas, Shreveport, Louisiana, Waco, Texas, Abilene, Texas, and Killian, Texas, marginal risk for severe weather on Sunday. Probability 5% in the brown, 15 in the yellow. Same locations: Dallas, Texas, all the way to Garland, Texas, and surrounding areas. 5% include Austin, Texas, all the way to Killian, Texas, and surrounding areas, including Shreveport, Louisiana. Alright, well, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Everybody continue to stay safe and well. Enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing if you have not. And we'll catch you back in the next video. So have a wonderful, wonderful Friday. But I'm getting behind now. But anyway, have a great, great Friday afternoon, folks. Take care.